I've been waiting off and on today to record this video. I'll start and then I'll say, hold on. And there's been noises of all kinds going on. You got I don't know if you can hear it. You have an air pump filling a tank on this side, some sort of an air pump. I'm assuming it's for tools or something. Right under here, you have this gorgeous of a Rottweiler chewing on her bone. Then earlier, there was like helicopters or planes just going by. There was always something going. But you just got to work around it sometimes. And I said, if I don't do it now, it's going to get later and later and later and later. And then it's good. Okay, we got some time. And then it's going to be dinner time. And I don't want to miss dinner time. Those are one of the struggles when working for yourself. I've been working for myself since I could remember. I'll make another video of all the things I was doing that I didn't know at the time that I was working for myself, but I was already working for myself. I might have been like in first grade or something when I was already working for myself. I just didn't know it. Looking back at it now, I was like, yeah, of course. It was already a business. It was already me working for myself. So I've always had that in me. I just kind of did it automatically and didn't even know it was a thing. So I don't know a life of not working for yourself. That doesn't mean I've never had a traditional job. I've had many traditional jobs. Some are very short term, some are very long term, but I've had a job throughout the course of my life, on and off. And there's been great jobs that I had with great management and great coworkers, and I've also had the opposite of that. Now, I know that during these crazy times, a lot of us started a new hustle. A lot of us got fired from our old hustle. A lot of us left our old hustle. A lot of us didn't have a hustle to go to anymore because it disappeared. And when I mean hustle, I mean job, work, what you do for income, what you do to make money, to pay the bills, to live. So it changed a lot of things. Some of us realized that working for yourself is really cool. Some of us realized that working for yourself is something that you just want to keep on the side or the back burner. Some of us never knew that you could work for yourself. It was something that just never passed your mind because you were set at your job. And of course, when things got real crazy, a lot of us realized that that word set didn't really mean so much. Now, as things are starting to normalize, a lot of us are trying to figure out, okay, like, do I go back to the way things were? Some of us tasted working for yourself and you really enjoyed it. And it was something that was really cool. And you're kind of thinking, maybe I want to keep this going. And then there's another set of us that say, I hate working for myself. There's too much pressure. I can't separate work from my regular life. I just want to go back to something that's structured. And then there's, of course, those folks that never had to do any changes during these crazy times during the pandemic. They did have a lot of pressure and a lot of guidelines that they had to follow, but they didn't lose their job. They didn't have to add a job. Their job definitely changed and their pressure, I'm sure, went like this. And I have nothing but respect for all the essential workers. Thank you. Now, I think everybody should work for themselves, whether it's your main hustle, whether it's your side hustle, whether it's one of your hustles, whether it's your main source of income, whether it's your side income, whether it's one of your incomes, it doesn't matter. I think everybody should work for themselves, even just a little bit. And the main reason is because it gives you a little bit of control of what happens with your income. If you have a traditional job and it's your main job and things get a little weird, things get a little slow, you could always pick it up with what you're doing working for yourself. And of course, if you're working for yourself as your main gig and things start getting a little slow, you could change it up and continue to grow and expand and make more to compensate for any changes that have happened in the market. And even working for yourself as your main hustle, you should have multiple things that are coming in, multiple sources of income. So if one of them gets a little wintry, a little cold, a little slow, the other ones will pick it right up and there'll be no big deal. So even when you work for yourself, you should always have a side hustle. Work for yourself when you're working for yourself. If we learned anything in these last few years is that change can happen at any time and we have absolutely no control over what the change is. What we do have control is making changes along the way, adapting. Things consistently change. If no one taught you that in the past, I hope you learned it with what happened in these last couple of years. Things are going to evolve, things are going to change. So you should always be changing with it, evolve with it, change with it. So whether it's before the pandemic, during the pandemic, pandemic or after the pandemic, you should always be working for yourself. Even if it's just a little bit, even if it's a tiny side hustle, have something that you're in complete control of. So if something happens, you could always jump and rely on your side gig to help you out while changes are happening. It's just important to always have something that you have control of. Don't rely 100% on a main gig. Always have a side gig. And if you've never had a side hustle before, now's the time to start asking, what kind of side hustle could I have? What's an easy side hustle that I could do on my days off or after work? This is the time to ask that question. Ask YouTube, ask Google, ask me. But yes, you should be working for yourself, even if it's just a little bit.